It is Monday, February 24 here at the West End Gun Club. It's about 5:30 right now. Got here 20 minutes ago. Pulling stuff out of the container. Going to get ready for a run through of the March 2025 NRL22 Course of Fire. Yesterday was our February match. Out here the day after, the morning after, to do a run through of this Course of Fire. Only time I have this week to do this, I will be going to the NRL Hunter match in Mason Valley this upcoming weekend. So this is my only range time, actually. I don't know if I'm ready for the NRL Hunter match, to be honest, but still need to do some practice, which I'm not live fire, but more along the lines of just practicing getting my gear off my, off my back on the ground and like just maneuvering around my pack and whatnot. So I can do that at home in the garage. I'll probably do that in the evenings in the next couple days or over the next few days, just to sort of get tuned up. But as far as shooting is concerned, I mean, I haven't really practiced much, to be honest. Anyway, enough talk. Let's just go ahead and get all these targets set up because I have to get all the targets in the right stands. And then once the sun starts to come out, we'll start shooting. First stage of the March 2025 NRL22 Course of Fire we're going to run through is called Little Leprechaun two-step. It's a 10-round stage, 120-second part time. We have only a single bank of targets. It's a 1.5 and a 2.5 on a double hanger at 76 yards. We have for our barricades the chair, a barrel, a 55-gallon barrel, and then set up so it doesn't roll. I have these cinder blocks here to kind of jam them together in this pole that we have on the range that's just fixed in there. Chair is in its orientation, seat, I guess seat facing that way, so it's sideways towards the firing line or to the target impact area, and then the barrel is pointed downranged into the impact area. You can start standing, rifle and all at the high ready, all gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, you'll engage the targets with 2 shots in the following order and manner. 55-gallon barrel, large target. Chair seat, large target. Prone, you have to go prone, so small target. Chair seat, large target, and 55-gallon barrel, large target. So if the way you think about it, you're going to go large, large, small, large, large. You go barrel, chair, prone, chair, barrel. And just looking at this, I would just start here, go left, come back right. Now, what complicates things is the way I have this set up right now, the cinder block here. So we'll consider that not part of this if this barricade setup. Like, so I'm gonna have to come up with something else that doesn't get that you're not supposed to use. You're not gonna be able to use a cinder block at this. If I have a cinder block here, you can't use it for prone. But I'm gonna have to work around that for this run through. And what complicates things is I wasn't planning on using my bipod. However, I am gonna use my big bags, so I don't know. I may just put my bipod on there. It's gonna slow me down. I'm still thinking in my head how I was going to do this because I didn't want to use bipod for this, but I may end up doing it. Well, let me think about it for a moment and then we'll start this up. time. 22 seconds. So that took me a little bit. Would not have beat that 105 power time though. Interesting. Okay. I went through that stage, looked kind of clumsy. That was basically my practice run. I didn't fire it before I recorded this video. So all I did was just see how this bag would, I would be able to pinch this bag partially here because I wanted to use it for this portion here on the chair seat. Simply because of the way we have to shoot, that I wanted some body support here, shooting at that upward angle. If we're shooting level ground, I probably would have just shot a sitting, but we're basically having to shoot up. If you don't know how this range is, we're shooting at about a 4 or 5 degree angle, I think. I don't know, I have to look it up again. And so I decided to use bipod here, and then chair seat with a bag, bipod on the ground, back to chair seat bag, and then bipod here. I wanted to leave my legs deployed for prone. And again, for the West End Gun Club, we need to have these legs a little bit higher because you're shooting at an upward angle. So I shot here, and I used kind of a prone position, a quasi bench rest position here, and use this to pinch just the corner of my bag, just to kind of hold it in place while I shot, and that gave me rear support. In retrospect, I probably could have just shot a high kneeling and then just wedged this body pillow here, where it probably would have been better. Sorry, the pillow is a body pillow. That would have been better. I didn't think about that. I just instinctively decided to try to use this as a bench rest, or like a bench. So this is more comfortable here. I could have just easily went like this, jammed my gun against the barrel, and just figured out where to fill this in, and then find my target, of course, and then take a clean shot here. So this probably would have been just as comfortable, to be honest. And then transitioning to the chair, some will argue that you could probably use your bipod here, and it's probably doable, but I have the way my footprint is on my SkyPod, it's not gonna work out. So I could thin it up like 1 notch here, maybe, if I wanted to. That could do it, but I don't know. I could do it that way. Oh crap, did I just break my bipod? I think I just broke my SkyPod. That's how I jammed it up. Oh crap, I just broke my SkyPod. There it goes. I bent the pin again. Okay, now I know I bent my pin. Interesting. Interesting, I just bent the pin. Oh wow. Okay, I have a spare pin at home, but looks like this bipod is kind of jacked up, so I'm not gonna touch that anymore. All right, anyway, back to regular scheduled programming. So from this position here, I just went down, used my rail attached bag here, and then kind of angled up here to shoot with this as a pillow for rear support. My rear bag, and this was very comfortable here. And then transitioning obviously to the ground. And since I'm only using this big bag and a rail attached bag, I'm not carrying like a smaller bag to use as rear support from prone, so I just shot the prone using my hand for the rear support, which is fine. It's not ideal, but it's easy to work, right? It's not that difficult to shoot. And it's a 1.5 inch target, I think, for the small. So it's not that bad. In any case, that's it for this. I don't know what else to give you as far as advice for you level ground shooters. My opinion is, if you're shooting level ground, I would just shoot sitting here, to be honest. I would just shoot sitting with a bag, probably go down like that, or use a smaller footprint bipod. If you have a smaller footprint bipod, you can switch to that for the barrel in this. That might work better than the SkyPod, to be honest. I don't think I brought a spare bipod with me today, so like if you had an Atlas or something, that might work better for this stage, because you just use bipod here if you wanted to. But I feel like if you could swing it with if you're level ground shooter with just a small, like a schmedium, just go schmedium, shoot bipod here, and then use your schmedium bag here as a bench, go to the chair, use your medium bag as your rest or bipod, and then you can just shoot sitting here and then go prone, use your medium for rear support and go back and forth, back to the chair. You can either use bipod or medium to shoot off the chair and then shoot off this like a bench or a tabletop with your bipod and stock supported with your medium. So that might be the simpler way to do it. But that's how this is like how I did my practice run with my gear that I have here today, but you can make it work. It took me a little bit of time, I think 5 seconds less than 2. So I wouldn't have beat the 105 part time for the option 2, but I think you can, if you do some practice runs, you can optimize this. But let's go ahead and move on to the next stage. Next stage we're running through, it's called Spring Forward for What? It's a 12-round stage. We only have a single target, it's a 3-inch at 96 yards, single hanger. This is the bonus time stage, so you finish the extra time on the clock, you under 120-second part time, you get bonus points. We have this tire set up here, 2 tires stacked on top of each other, and then 1 tire upright and then facing down range. No restrictions here, you're gonna start standing, rifle to high ready, all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, engage the target with 2 shots each from the designated positions on the tire in the following order and manner. Left side of the tire stack, right side of the tire stack, top of the vertical tire, left side of the tire stack, right side, top of the vertical tire. Secure the vertical tire so it does not move or roll. So pretty straightforward as far as your motion, just left, right, top, left, right, top. You're just repeating it, shooting it once and repeating it again. As far as left side and right side of tire, I'm just gonna say that as long as you're in this imaginary line here, that's left, that's right. So seems pretty straightforward, although a lot of people complain at the West End Gun Club that I have these very kind of wobbly tires, so that does account for some difficulty here at the West End Gun Club. I think I don't know what other places do, if they just take it easy on their competitors and get these multiple off-road tires like 35s to 37s that are like multi-ply walls that are very stiff on the sidewalls. These ones that I have here are very thin on the sidewall, so we don't have that much support there. So it does add wobble there. Anyway, let's go ahead and try this one out. Did I miss that? I think I missed one. 10 seconds left. So this is a bonus time stage. It took me a while. Let's talk about this for a few moments here. I used the rail attach bag and the mega bag like I did on the previous stage. However, I was fighting this heavy pint-sized rail attach bag. The way it sits on this tire, it's not exactly where I want it. And so if you notice, like, it'll try to mold to the edge of the tire or the tire radius. And so I was kind of fighting it initially, and probably a larger bag would be better than a pint size. This is what I have for a rail attach bag. It's just convenient for me. But sorry, let me grab my medium here. Here's a heavy medium, and theoretically, probably be better if I just went with this medium, went with the medium or the schmedium bag. It doesn't have to be rail attached, and I think that it'd probably be better not to be rail attached for me, because I can just mold to the tire, rest the bag down. I know some people don't like to run this, you know, shoot diagonally across this bag, but I think for this stage, I can make this work a lot better, and I'm not fighting it. Because with the rail attached bag, if it's going to mold to the radius of the tire, it's stuck to my rifle, and so I'm kind of putting twisting motions to get it to sit. So I think this is probably the better route, and then just use the bag on top of the tire. However, my issue with this is that I don't want to have to hold two bags. And do I need to hold a second bag for this position? Maybe not. I didn't think about shooting sitting. We are shooting upward angle again. I could probably shoot a really hunched over sitting, which might work, although I don't like it because I'm canting my head down. So I'd rather still shoot that kind of prone position, that squatted, hunched prone, and use the mega bag. So I may end up holding two bags for this stage, and then have the schmedium and then the mega bag. But I don't think the rail attached bag is a good idea for me, because the way that the wedge wants to sink into this, hug the rail or the radius of that tire while it's rail attached. So if you get the idea, like that's how it's going to try to sit, it falls down and it brings your gun inward, right? You don't want it to do that. So anyway, that's something to think about. Again, level ground shooters, you have a little bit of a change from West End, because you're going to be shooting more like this, and you can probably shoot a very nice sitting position. But here we're shooting upward angle, so this is how I'd look if I was shooting sitting. You could probably hunch down, maybe. If you got I could probably make this work and not have to use the mega bag. And I don't use the mega bag here. I just shoot naturally upright on this tire. So just bring this up here, put it on the side, however you want it, and just set that gun down. It's gonna rest easy. Just manipulate that gun into place and then shoot. Anyway, a few things to think about here. Again, my equipment, I was fighting it a little bit, so I probably won't use a rail attached bag. I'll probably go with the schmedium bag off of the gun, and then maybe or maybe not use a mega bag for a hunched over prone position off of the tire stack. Something you guys need to think about for your own venue. It's going to vary from venue to venue. So you're going to have to be able to think on the fly and just look at it, analyze it, and say, okay, I think that's how I'm going to shoot it. So hopefully you got some ideas here, but let's move on to the next stage. Next stage we're going to run through is called 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 12 round staged, 1/22 part time. We have 4 banks of targets. We have a 1/4 inch KYL target at 41 yards. We have a 1 and a 1.5 on a double hanger at 59. We have a 1.5 and a 2 on a double hanger at 83, and we have a 2.5 on a single hanger at 98 yards. Here's the weird thing they did with this stage, though. They numbered the targets. So 41 is T1, or target 1. 59, the large is target 2. The small is target 3 at 59. At 83, the large is target 4, and the small is target 5. And then target 6 is 98. So basically think large, small. Far, near to far, large to small, that's the order, the count, right? So 1 through 6. The props that we have are 3 cinder blocks stacked in this orientation, and we have a sawhorse. We're going to be shooting off of the cinder block and top of the sawhorse. Restriction is the bipod may not touch the ground if you have a bipod on your gun. You're going to start standing, rifle to high ready, all gear in hand, mag and action open. On the start signal, you will engage the targets with 1 shot each in the following order and manner. Top of the cinder blocks, 1, 2, 3. Top of the sawhorse, 2, 3, 4. The top of the cinder block, 3, 4, 5. Top of the sawhorse, 4, 5, 6. So the easiest way to remember this is to go start from 1, switch, start from 2, work your way up. Start from 3, start from the cinder block and start from 3, work your way up, and then sawhorse, start force. You're always going to start one more than you shot previously. You can start from 1, shoot 3 shots. Start from 2, shoot 3 shots. Start from 3, shoot 3 shots. Start from 4, shoot 3 shots. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. It's not that difficult to remember. You just got to understand what your target numbers are in the situation here. So obviously, when you start from 1 of the 41, it's easy, right? 1 and then large, small at 59. Then when you start up the top of the sawhorse, you're going to start from the 59 and you're going to shoot large, small, and then go back to large at 83. When you go to cinder block, you're going to start small at 59, then work your way large, small at 83. Then when you go back to the top of the sawhorse, you're going to work your way from large 83, then small 83, then far. So it's kind of after you. It's a memorization game here. Just think what your numbers are and then go from there. But let's go ahead and try this one out. Two, 3, 4. Should just parallax at this point. Oh, I barely clipped it. Three, 4, 5. Gotta make sure I'm shooting the right target here. Right. Short load of that mag. Where's that target? I can't see it. Literally can't see that target. Barely caught that. Wow. 120 on the dot. So I cannot see that target, to be honest. Oh, that's really blended in. Oh, that I never painted that target. No wonder. That thing is. Is there a target on there? Wow, that thing is so faded. No wonder I couldn't see it. Okay. Well, I missed a couple shots there. Wow, that thing is pretty dim in there. Okay, I want to shoot this one more time for fun, or for practice rather, because um, I had some ideas about juggling parallax and whatnot. So let's figure out what we want to do. All right, let me go get another mag loaded up first. So we're going to go ahead and dial -1. We're going to dial 2. Parallax out for this. Sorry, doing this mainly for the trigger cam. We gotta go to the next position and shoot from that same target. I'm gonna adjust the parallax just a little bit for this. I'm gonna start large. Should I dial? No, we're gonna do 0.9. over here. Small. We're going to dial 1.1 parallax for that. Large. I'm going to come in for this one because I can't see it. And I don't think I did a mag change. I have 26 seconds left. I'm going to shoot 4, 5, 6. So .7, I can dial that. There you go. Finished with barely enough time. Not sure if that's the route to go, but let's talk about it. First run at this, I couldn't see that third bank of targets, or the small in the third bank, because it was just blending into the dark berm, and it wasn't painted. But second run, I implemented something that I thought would work for me, but it did take some time. So here's what happened. I dialed, just for reference, I need 0.1 for 41, 0.2 for 59, 1.1 for 83, and 1.7 for 98 in these conditions right now. So what I went ahead and did is dial negative 0.1, which you probably don't have to do either way. And then I went to this position here, and I started off with 20 magnification at 0.1 with my parallax at 41 roughly. And when I'm taking this shot, it's very stable. I can let the gun rest on this bag. It's heavy. My gun is pretty much settled in one spot. And then I can just take a clean shot, and it's good to go. Once I transition to the target 2, large at 59, I have to look over to my sheet there. I went in dialed 0.2. I quickly slapped my parallax and adjusted my magnification with my 2 hands here. A parallax and magnification, my gun is supported. And I went ahead and then took my next 2 shots straight on, 1 and then 2. And from there, I transitioned to this with the bag. Let that gun settle in. So I know I'm going to be on target 2, which is at 59, and I already have my scope set up 0.2, so I can just shoot straight away. And my parallax is already set there, 1, 2. And I'm going to the large target at 83, target 4, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to go ahead and hold 0.9 from 1.1. I didn't bother with parallax, and I just shot it, made that hit. From there, I'm transitioning back, and I'm still here, and I know I'm still on the second bank of targets, target 3, which is a small at 83, or sorry, small at 59. And my parallax is still set, and my elevation is still set to 0.2, so I can take that shot. The second I'm going out to 83, I went ahead and dialed 1.1, hit my parallax real quick, just to give me a little bit of clarity. Then took my 2 shots here, 1, 2, and then from there, I transitioned back to here, and I know that I'm going to engage 4, 5, 6, which is only going to be the 83 yards and the 98 yards. My scope's already set for 83. So I just take my 2 shots, 4, 5 straight away, and 1.7 and 1.1 is just 0.6. So I just held 0.6 and took my shot there, and that's it. That worked for me. You can probably go ahead and just shoot it by holds if you want to. Might save you a couple seconds, but I think as long as you're smooth and deliberate in your head, that's probably going to be a good way to optimize it. And it helps you keep track of what you're doing next, right? I'm doing this now and staging for the next position. So that's kind of how I'm helping myself remember. So it's a little complex. If you want to just keep it simple, keep it keep it your 0. All you got to do is just shoot 1, just shoot your 1, 2, and then 3, and then move. And you're holding 0.2, you're holding 1.1, 1.7, however you want to hold for whatever your dope is. But that's one way to approach this. This one's simple as far as the position. All I did was use 1 single bag. I decided to use my medium, not the rail attach bag. Although the rail attach bag probably would have been saved me a little bit of time, not having to hold the bag. That might save me a couple seconds. But anyway, I like this stage. It's not difficult to shoot. However, the cadence and the memorization is what's going to throw people off. So work on that when you go over the course of fire for your match. Anyway, let's move on to the next stage. The next stage we're running through is called On the Plus Side of Spring. It's a 12-round stage, 120-second part time. We have 4 targets at 3 different distances. We have a 1-inch on a single at 51 yards. We have 2 2-inch targets on separate double hangers at 70 yards, spaced 10 yards apart, left and right from each other, and then a 3-inch on a single hanger at 95. They also numbered the targets. So the numbers are, target 1 is the 51, target 2 is the left 70, target 3 is the right 70, target 4 is the far 95. This is the pyramid stage, as you can see. Restriction is no position can be repeated. The positions are going to be the outside of these legs and the middle of between the 2 legs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think consider this a position. I've never seen anyone call that a position before, even in the other courses of fire. So this is negated, and it might play into how you run this stage, because here's the description. I'm going to start standing, rifle to high ready. All gear in hand, mag in action open. On the start signal, engage the targets from the pyramid in the following order with 1 shot each. Any left rung, targets 2 and 3. The middle rung, targets 1 and 4. Any right rung, targets 3 and 2. Then again, any right rung, but you can't repeat a rung, of course, or a position rather, targets 3 and 2. Middle rung 1 and 4. Left rung 2 and 3. So here's the easy way to think about this. You have the 70-yard targets are left and right. Those are 2 and 3, respectively. So if you're going to start from the left rung, you're going to shoot the 70 left, right. Middle rung is near far, 1 and 4. Any right rung, targets 3 and 2, right, left. So left, right, you're going to start left side, left, right, middle, near far, right side, right, left. And then repeat going backwards. Right is right, left. Middle is near far, left is left, right on the 70. Pretty easy if you think about it that way. So after that, it's just considering which rungs you want to go shoot off of. And I think I'm going to shoot off of these 2 rungs here, which will be second from the top, the middle, or third from the top, third from the bottom. I think that's how I want to shoot it, because I'm going to shoot with a single bag with just a single rail attached pint-sized game changer. But let's try this one out. Barely clipped it. Near far. Straight on. Any right rung. .6. Middle rung. Near far. Barely clipped it. I'm hitting right of target. Oh, I forgot to hold. Idiot. And I think I mag changed this. Forgot to hold. 20 seconds. Left or right. .6. There's like 5 seconds left. There's a lot to process on this stage. I'm not entirely sure if I chose the right rung. So both times I ran through this, I used the second from the top and the third from the top, and the middle one. And what caused me the most problems is that middle section there on the second rungs, because I have to twist my gun into the porthole to get my gun to maneuver in there with that bag attached. And so it's kind of cumbersome, and I got it to work, but I don't think that's gonna work very well, which means I may decide to go with this bottom rung. However, I'm not entirely sure I'm gonna be too hunched over for this position, where I don't think I might need another bag. I don't think so. I think I can make this work, but I think I'll probably shoot second, the third, and the fourth positions here, because that middle one is just too hard to get through on that second from the top, because there's not much room the way I have to maneuver my gun in there. So at least for here, lots of room to finagle my gun and slide it in there. My scope cap is hitting that top, and actually, I don't know if I should take it off, but I might have to take off my scope cap, because that thing is cumbersome on these positions here. So I kind of have to slide my bag back a little bit, and that might work, but that then takes it out of balance. So maybe I'll take my scope cap or just reorient it to the left side for this, because I've had this happen in the past where the scope cap is about half an inch tall on top of the scope objective, and that just ends up hitting these portholes. My gun is so tall with the rail, the added rail, and then this bag, and so I don't know. Anyway, I think for most people, you're not going to have as much as a problem. You can try a flat bag. I do have a flat bag, but I just like the way a game changer fits and my gun sits on it rather than a flat bag like my D bag from Coltac. This one's pretty straightforward to shoot. I think to speed this up, I may try to optimize this for myself by not shooting here and just shooting here and here, like third and second from the bottom. And a prior move, I need to get my gun to sit a little bit more compact, so I'm probably going to readjust my scope cap so it's not at the top, but I'll have it moved to the side. The left side, since I don't need the left side. So anyway, I hopefully got some ideas here. This is pretty straightforward. Again, just remember the cadence of left to right on the left side and right to left on the right side. That's the easiest way to think about it. And just pick which rungs you want to shoot from, and you should be golden. And then just practice that to get faster as far as being able to shoot this stage. Anyway, let's move on to the last stage in the Course of Fire. The last stage of fire we're running through is called Dropping the Wintertime Blues. It's a 12-round stage, which makes me think that everything on this Course of Fire was a 12-round except one, so that's 58 total rounds. So 12-round stage, 120-second part time. We have two banks of targets here. We have the 1-inch, 3/4, and 1/2-inch KYL at 55 yards, but they're numbered 1, 2, and 3, large to small. Then we have a 2.5 on the double hanger at 98 yards, which is target 4. So 1, 2, 3 is the 1-inch, 3/4 inch, and 1/2-inch. Then the 98 is at 2.5, or 2.5 at 98 is a target 4. So 1, 2, 3, large to small, then far is 4. This is a tank trap stage, as you can see, and the restriction is no tip can be repeated. You're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready, all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, you'll engage the targets in the following order and manner with one shot each. One of the tips, 1, 2, 3, 4, targets 1, 2, 3, 4. Another tip, or tip 2, 1, 2, 4, 4. The third tip, 1, 4, 4, 4. So the way you want to think about this is you're going to run the full KYL and the far target on the first tip. The second tip, you're going to only run the first 2 KYL, 1 and 3/4 inch, and then target 4 twice, the far target twice. Then the last tip, you're going to shoot only the largest KYL once and the far target 3 times. So that's a pretty easy way to think about it. It's the full KYL rack, only 2 of the KYL rack, and then 1 of the KYL rack, and the remaining rounds at target 4. So let's go ahead and try this one out. It seems pretty simple to remember, but a straightforward stage as far as tank traps are concerned. Should have dialed. It's all right. Barely nicked it. Not going to adjust parallax. Let's go into the left. I'm going to go and do a mag change now while I'm in a good position for it. We're shooting target 1. It's going to the left just a little bit. You can see the arc. So I'm going to hold a little bit right. There we go. That was pretty easy. What if it's 93 on the clock? I did it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2, 4, 4, 1, 1, 4. Yeah, this is pretty simple. This is a pretty straightforward stage. Again, it's easy to memorize. If you think you're going to shoot the full KYL rack, then the far target, then go to the next tip, only shoot the first 2 of the KYL rack, then the far target twice with your remaining 2 rounds, then you're only going to shoot the largest on the KYL rack on the last tip, and then your last 3 shots are on the far target. So you're always going to shoot 4 shots, but you're going to reduce the number of times you engage the KYL rack by 1. Pretty simple. But there's a little bit more gaming here. So the reason why I started on this left tip is because this gives me the most stable position, because I'm kind of gaming or cheating this. The way this tank trap is set up, I usually orient with one of the tips going straight back. I can just put my arm here, and I can just kind of put my arm over it or against it, and I can lead into it, and I can really get my body kind of anchored to this specific tank trap, and I can really get my gun jammed in there, and my body is stable because I got something to lean on. If you want to go on top of it like this, helps you, but it's really good at keeping my body and my arm, my position, this shooting arm. It's really going to be very, I guess, stable and not really affecting the gun. So that's why I chose this side for this, because I'm going to engage that small KYL from this first position. So I picked the most stable position for me. So you have to decide when you get on this tank trap, what is going to feel the most stable to you. Granted, they may all be stable to you or equally stable to you. So it's just up to you what you're most comfortable with. From there, just move on to however you want to move on to. And I just went to the rear and then to the right. No real thought there, but I definitely chose this left one because I could use this tank trap for my body however I need to, as far as getting my leg against it. I can kind of put my legs against the leg, which you can't see here. My shooting arm here. I can really kind of just get my body, and I can kind of hug the tank trap and really keep the shakes out of the gun, because I'm using this as my support for my body. Other than that, I have no other advice for you. I just went single bag, reel attached. That's how I decided to go. Most people will just have a game changer of some sort and just move the game changer from tip to tip, and you're good to go. And then my mag change, when did I do it? I did it right here. I moved my gun. I probably should have just kept the gun there, did my mag change instead of moving the gun, doing a mag change. Just something I wasn't thinking about. So anyway, that's it for this Course of Fire. Let's go ahead and clean up and we'll get out of here. All done with the Course of Fire run through. I'm about to seal up the Connex container, get my gear squared away and roll out of here. I do have the day off from work, but I may call into a meeting at 1500 maybe. But I want to take care of some stuff today. In any case, as far as this Course of Fire, the March Course of Fire, I would rate it moderately difficult. I mean, most experienced shooters are going to think this is fine, but I think that in the grand scheme of things, this is not the easiest. It's definitely not the hardest Course of Fire. So I would rate it moderately difficult. There's a lot of understanding of like the stages. You really need to look at it and think before you shoot. And there's a lot of stuff to consider as far as tactics and the way your approach to a stage. So those are things to consider. I think that the actual positioning and the movements are very straightforward, but there are a lot of movements, and I think that the mixture of target numbering and knowing the specific order and the targets to shoot from specific positions will throw people off. So I would rate it moderately difficult. It's not the easiest stage, it's not the hardest, but or Course of Fire, but it's definitely, you know, it'll pose some challenges to some people. So that's why I'm going to rate it moderately difficult. As far as the whole other match is concerned, not much else to say about the Course of Fire. And our next match will be here at the West End Gun Club on March 23rd, Sunday, fourth Sunday of the month. So definitely come on out if you're interested in shooting. Yesterday we had four new people, I think first timers to our match. Like one guy had shot a couple like rimfire style matches before, so I think this is his first time. He was first time here. I don't know if it was his first time NRL22, but definitely like to get more new people to the range or at our match. So definitely come on out if you're interested. Again, we have a loaner rifle, Tikka T1X. If you're interested in shooting but don't have a gun that's suitable for this match, you can borrow the Tikka T1X. Just let me know in advance when you register. Say, hey, I'd like to attend. Don't have a gun, could I borrow that club loaner rifle? And we will bring that and just compensate us for the ammo that you're going to use during the match, and that's pretty much it. Anyway, other than that, no other real news. Again, I said it earlier in the vlog that I am going to the NRL Hunter Mason Valley match this upcoming weekend. Gonna head out there Friday afternoon, take a half day from work because I got to roll out there just to check in and weigh in, chrono the gun, my ammo, and then drive home and go back again Saturday morning, drive home, go back Sunday. I'm not going to stay in that area. For me, it's about a 2-hour drive. So it's just underneath any kind of threshold where you're like, well, I should get a hotel room. No, it's definitely just like right at the cusp edge where I'm just going to drive back and forth and sleep in my own bed. I did it last year. It was fine. Definitely going to be interesting this year, though. It's going to be warm. Last year it was windy and raining. This year, it's supposed to be hot. I understand it might hit like high 80s, low 90s in inland desert. It's inland desert in San Diego. People think San Diego is sunny and cool and breezy and you got the beach. This is like San Diego County where you're more, or Imperial County where you're more inland. And this is like the dunes, like close to the dunes where people are going on off-road vehicles and stuff. This is like right in that mountain area there. So it's going to get warm. So going to have to pack water. And we'll see how well I do in the heat. Because shot in the cold at the Pro-Am, we shot in like 15-degree, low 20s. Now we're going to be shooting in the 80s, possibly 90s. So anyway, that's it for today, February 24th, Monday here at the West End Gun Club. Thanks for watching. See you in the next vlog. Hopefully I'll see you at our next match.